Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our special Wednesday Live. I'm really excited to do this with you today to talk about new funding opportunities, some major changes that we've rolled out related to helping you getting funding. And to do it today, especially, it's Women's History Month, all March long. It's Women's History Month. There's a lot of grants, a few of them that I'm going to talk about today for women-owned businesses. And today is International Women's Day as well. So shout out to women-owned business owners, women entrepreneurs, and wherever you are in the U.S. or elsewhere. So we've got a lot to talk about today. As always, I love hearing where you're watching from, and so put in the comments. We'll give some shout outs to the cities and states you're watching from, and like I said, I think in the comments, or rather in the video description, if you want to follow along today as I go through these several new funding opportunities. Again, there's 3K grants that are due today. By the way, there's one 3K grant that's due today. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. There's also other 5K grants, 10K grants, a lot of grants. Probably this is the most grants we've talked about in the live ever. And also going to show you how this relates to our brand new app, the latest version of our app and website. So if you haven't yet, download our latest app in the App Store and Google Play. Looks like this. You can see it. The links are also in the description as well. So would love to hear all of you who tune in early every week, every time we go live. Again, this week we're doing it Wednesday today for a special reason because it's International Women's Day. But next week we're going back to our regular scheduled programming. Brian and myself will be coming to you live with even more grants. And but would love to hear what you think of the app, including the new funding assistant. I'll tell you why in a second. But without further ado, let's dive in and start talking about grants. The first one I want you to know about is that we are giving out $1,000 grants this month. We're back at it. We gave out $100 grants last month for February. We're back to 1,000. So we're giving out 3 $1,000 grants for all of you who've entered in the past. You know the deal. We've been donating our YouTube revenue for 2.5 years. All of our YouTube revenue goes back to you, subscribers of this channel. So always thank you for your support. It's something small we can do. We want to help 1 million entrepreneurs succeed, whatever stage you're at, whether you're just starting out, whether you have revenue, whether you're growing and you're looking for additional funding. So here we go. The first link in the description, you can enter the March Skip grants. So I've already entered it here, but you'll see on your dashboard or on your app, if you're using it on the app, you'll see it front and center. And you'll see that you've applied for it. Again, it's really one click to enter our $1,000 grants. So we are picking winners for our grants on Tuesday, March 28th, I believe. So just be sure you're entered before the 28th. So that's it. Knock it out of the park. On our last live last week when we picked winners, I think we did a poll. Maybe we can ask this poll again, Brian. How many of you have applied for funding or grants so far in 2023? We're about 65 days into the year, more or less. How many of you have already applied for new funding or new grants? Would love to see. I think the results we saw last week, well, I don't want to bias the poll, but the results we saw were that most of you still haven't applied for funding. So would love to hear. Our mission is to help make it easy for you to find grants and to apply for grants. So what you're looking at here on my screen is the latest My Funding. Also looks similar on the app. You have a funding opportunities section. Shout out to Oakland, Tina, and Wisconsin, Dallas, OKC, Colorado, Washington. Good to see everyone. Brooklyn, SF, Oregon. Anyway, all of the funding that you track in the future, you'll be able to see right here. So here's one that's due today. Galaxy of Stars. They do grants every couple months, I think. They extended this to be due today. As long as you apply by March 8th, it says expired here, but ignore that. As long as you apply by today, if you're a women-owned business, you will be entered to potentially get a $3,000 grant, $3,050 grant. So that is the second link in the description as well. Here's how the application, well, here's the summary of what you need to know. Then you can go right to the application. Let's pull it up here. I'll just show you. If you're a women-owned business, I hope the second thing you do today is enter this one if you haven't yet. I think we've seen several hundred folks enter this. Would love to see everyone watching right now, all 100 of you. First, hope you can enter it if you're a women-owned business. And second, I hope you can tell others as well. Might be a nice thing to share on International Women's Day. Like they say at the top, only takes 30 seconds to enter. Email, name, zip code, and this ethnicity, business status, referred by. You can put in Skip here, hello Skip, if you want. That's it. So that's the second grant. And Brian, I don't know if we're able to put up a poll here on folks who've entered or folks who've applied this year, but once we have enough submissions, I'll read the results. And doesn't matter how long you've had the business. So good question here. Every grant varies. You may be referring to this one. For Galaxy of Stars, based on the fine print, which I've read in the past whenever they do these, I don't think so. So right, you can say I would like to start a business or I currently have a business. So I don't think if you're brand new, just starting out, I don't think that disqualifies you. All right. Yeah, great question. Any other questions that come up related to grants or funding, drop in the comments. Okay. So the poll results are in. Have you applied for funding this year? 56% of you say yes, which is great. That's gone up quite a bit since last week, about 40 votes, just about. And 43% of you say you haven't applied for funding yet this year. So let's keep going down because we've got a lot of funding to get through today. And I am going to reference the dashboard. Some of you may be following along on the Skip app as well. So when you click View All under Funding Opportunities, you can see the latest that we've put up. We curate opportunities every single week. So there's the jobber grants here, 2.5K to 15K grants for small home services businesses. So if it sounds relevant for there, you can add it to your tracker and see the details. So in this case, they're offering 25 grants. So not bad. Here's the eligibility below. You must be a home service business owner or aspiring business owner. Must be over 18, based in the US or Canada, excluding Quebec. Not sure why. And you must complete a 5-minute application by June. So this is a case where you have time. But let me just pull up the application here for all of you. It's a type form they've used, about 5 minutes to complete. So quite quick to do. And I'm not going to go through it now, but this is fairly straightforward. Let's go back and take a look at a few of the other ones. This is one for women-owned businesses. The deadline's in April, but I wanted to share this one today. We haven't announced this one yet. So $40,000 in Dell technology from the Dell Women's Entrepreneur Network. The acronym is DWEN. Has a certain ring to it there. Okay, so if you're a women-owned business, you're interested in it, here are the details. You must be a DWEN member. Now, what is a DWEN member? You can go to the application, learn more about it, see if it's right for you or not. You must have an existing business with no more than 100 employees, must be female founded or co-founded. And they're basically looking for your story. What makes your business unique, impactful, and game-changing, similar to the Barclays grants. By the way, congrats to all of you who submitted the Barclays grant on time last week. It's great to help so many of you write your story and get it across the finish line. So I really hope some of you in the Skip community win one of the Barclays grants. Those were from $2,000 to $60,000. And so here's a piece on this Dell grant for women-owned businesses. If shortlisted, you may be asked to create a short video and compete in a public voting competition. Now, I wanted to highlight this because we see this probably in 20% of grants now, that there is a video component. So if you haven't done a video component yet, told your story in 30 seconds, 60 seconds or more, and you want help with that, we'd be happy to work with you, help you do your first video, get over that hurdle of doing the first video. For all of these, you have the option of getting one-on-one help, and you can see the details when you click that. Work with our team directly. So if it's something you're really interested in or you want to try, we can help you, or you can DIY it as well. So your choice. You may choose some you want to DIY, some you'd rather get help from our team. Let me go back to some of the new funding opportunities here. Here we go. Verizon Small Business Digital Ready. This was one of the most popular ones from 2022. We've just put it up for the first time, and the deadline's not till May, so you have time, but I wanted to flag it now and share some of the details here. So you need to register on the Verizon Small Business Digital Ready portal. You need to complete a little Digital Ready program by May 12th. Here's what you have a shot at winning: a $10,000 grant and online resources to help you out. We had a lot of people apply for this last year. I can't remember if we had anyone win. I'd have to check, but I think it's a good one personally. And it's always, in my opinion, always worth looking at the application and tracking it. So maybe you look at it today and you're like, yeah, this is good, but I have until May. Don't worry if you're tracking it on the Skip app or website. We will remind you when the due dates get closer. So you don't need to worry about missing out. Okay, there's a few more good ones as well. The next one is back to the Sogal Black Founder Grant. So let me share the details here first. So grants up to $10,000 to help Black women founders start up and scale their businesses. And there's a few other details there, but they also use a type form for the application. Many of you have applied with Sogal before. These are ongoing grants, I believe. So it's another good one as well. And we have more of these in the description as well, but there are more on the app and website. So, but let me pause there and see if there's any questions that have come up about any of these, grants. I saw this comment, video components, Sundara. Yeah, absolutely. But, if it's your mission this year to submit a video for an opportunity, we'd love to help make that possible. So, so first step digital marketing designs, whether you want to craft a short video talking about your story, and maybe for many of you who applied for Barclays, because there were thousands and thousands of you who applied for the Barclays grant, the easiest thing to do would be to do a video basically reading that story, that 500-word story yourself. Sometimes it's easier when someone asks you questions and you can just respond naturally, more like a conversation. So that's an option there. Diana asked, do you have to be a paid member of Skip to win a grant? No, you don't. And Diana, maybe you're referring to our $1,000 grants. You do not have to be a member. It's just a subscriber, and you have to subscribe here on YouTube, and you have to enter. That's it. We want to increase accessibility. And so let's see any other questions that have come in. So the grants for mothers isn't showing. It's showing as an error. Thanks for flagging that. Let me see here about that. And there's also the Amber grant, which is back as well. That's on the dashboard here. Maybe I'll try to pull that up in a second. You have to pay to enter the Amber grant. Many of you know about that organization. But yeah, there's we'll take a look at that link that may not be working. So who's entered our $1,000 grants this month, and who, if you're a women-owned business, would love to hear, have you entered the grant that's due today in several hours from the galaxy of stars? So would love to hear in the comments. So there's also a few other new funding opportunities we've listed for the first time on the app and on our dashboard, including more details on SBA microloans 7A 504, because this has been helping a lot of people with those SBA programs directly. You'll notice a few of them are locked. If you're a member, you can see locked grants. That means you'll typically you'll be able to see these grants before anyone else if you want a head start on grants. So that's always an option as well. And so there you go. Would love to hear from folks what you think of the updated dashboard. In fact, there's a new look coming next week. Huge shout out to our entire team for working on this. It's a lot of work to find all of these and to put it in a way where you can clearly see what are the things you need to do, which ones have you applied for. So you can see, oh yeah, I'm entered into the March skip grants. Great. You can just tune in on March 28th, see if we pick you as a $1,000 grant winner. And you can see which ones you've applied for in the past, some that you've won, some that you maybe didn't win, etc. So would love to hear. Let me pull out a few more comments here. And from the Jolyn, I am entered into the Amber and Skip grant opportunities. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much for saying that. Glad you've entered. And Angie says she's planning to apply for the Skip grant. You've applied for the Galaxy grant. That's awesome. Again, hopefully any cognitive barrier for applying for some of these grants, hopefully we can make it easy. And yeah, and so we just checked the link. We're going to fix for the, which grant was it? The Mother's grant. We're going to fix that link and put it in the description. So if you tuned in. From Trina, I haven't started up my business yet. My question is, are there any grants that would help me with the funding to start? Well, the Galaxy of Stars, Trina, you don't have to necessarily have a business already. So you could enter that one. And plenty more. If you're in doubt, if you want to go explore, see what's out there. We've got some links in the description here, but yeah, most importantly, hope to see some of you on the app, because there's even a few that we haven't even talked about today. But most importantly, happy Women's History Month. Happy International Women's Day. So if you're a women-owned business or you know women-owned business, give them a shout out this month, especially today, and encourage them to seek out funding opportunities. We're still in the midst of a little bit of a, in a recession. And one of the biggest recommendations we give business owners we work with is to be opportunistic. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Think about, the things you need to do to put yourself in a healthy business situation. In many cases, it's applying for grant opportunities. Even if you don't win, you can apply, and maybe you'll eventually win, or you can apply for other financing, reduce expenses, increase revenue. So those are typically things we help businesses with. So as always, thanks so much to everyone who's put in where they're watching from, and congrats to all of you who have applied for funding this year. Nearly 60% of you have already applied for funding this year. House of Loving Hands, you applied for Barclays and Galaxy. Nice job. And the Women-Owned Business Grant due today, link not working. It should be working in the description. If it's not working, maybe it's because hundreds of you are clicking the link now, but we'll double check it anyway, Maria, and try again in a minute. And as always, thanks everyone who's tuned in. Can't wait to see you all next Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, the same time. Brian and I will be back talking about more grants, answering some of your questions. We may bring on a special guest, and we'll keep you posted. Till then, have a great rest of your week, and stay well. And as always, let us know if you have any questions on this funding or if you need one-on-one help. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.